Aw, dash shitty.
Aw, that's
Aw, dash
shitty.
shitty. Aw, damn shitty. When you dream of water, and you dream often of late, which wasn't the case before the skirmish at the twins' cradle. The water you dream of flows quickly southward, carrying the memories of the dead from the west cradle south towards Finchen, Shaumer, and the oceans beyond. And when you dream, you are carried away in it, submerged and tossed within, your lungs filling with water as your minds fill with thoughts that do not belong to you. Which of you thinks they are the dreamer? Braca or Vernick?
It's constantly both and neither. Back and forth. Back and forth. But what I will say is that what is undeniable is when you look down at your own hands in your own body, Raka doesn't see themselves.
When Vernick dreams of water, what other dreams slip through?
Vernick remembers a little stream next to where he grew up and how it dried up before he had to leave for training. And he remembers learning that's because the Empire had built a series of dams to redirect water to the Bowerlands and relocated a lot of the villages he would visit to the north growing up. He remembers his first time having to get on a boat after becoming Damphir, and the sense of the sea breeze cutting through him, not just blowing his hair and the loose accoutrement on his armor, but feeling like the salt air could touch him. And he remembers the rainy days walking alongside his knight's carriage because somebody has to be outside for the best possible field of view.
As the rain slips in, it transitions to the dreams that Braca lets slip through. Braca remembers the flooding of the Lanadia River Valley when he was young, the way the streams overflowed and destroyed houses. Little did he know that the dams to the north had fed into a new watershed system that drove even fiercer squalls of rainwater ever southward towards the Central River. The Lanadia River Valley is barely habitable these days, suitable only for travel during the dry seasons. Braca remembers his first trip to the Salt Baronies, how free the open ocean felt, how the salt breeze was refreshing and wonderful, how the meats and food from the ship after a long day's work were the most delicious meals possible. He remembers walking outside of the carriage where his men were stationed, because to his mind, a true leader walks in the rain while his men stay dry. You start awake to the gruff voice of the corpse wagon's quartermaster Zeke. I didn't know vamps slept. Who wakes first, Captain Braca or Vernon?
Part of being what he is, Vernick, it's not quite sleep anymore. It's something between sleep and death. So Braca wakes first. Always.
Zeke glowers at you familiarly. You know that he is not in on this plan. He is not part of the equation. You are hitching a ride on the corpse wagon, bound for Greshel Maw in the far west of the Bowerlands. He looks you up and down. You don't think he's ever seen an undead fall asleep before. What do you say?
They always say there's no rest for the wicked.
He raises a dirty eyebrow and scratches his face suspiciously, then looks out the window and gives a spit. I suppose it's all the same to me. Just, never really seen one of your type fall asleep before.
Right. It sees me get momentarily thrown off as a visible moment of confusion. All of the swagger and the one-liner completely now forgotten as wouldn't want you to see us weak.
With your innate knowledge of relationships, depending on how roused Vernick is at this point, you know that this man is being really fucking disrespectful.
Absolutely. And so this individual sees this like, you caught me in a lie face turn sour. Then how about you drive the cart and I do what I do?
Why don't we do a roll? Why don't we see how this? I want to see how this lands with Zeke.
Great.
So what you'll do is you will choose between control and impact. Control determines if you succeed. Impact determines how well you succeed. Based on the scene, based on your character, based on just any number of factors you want.
Great. And you don't tell me what you've got in your head before I do anything, right?
If you go down a page, you'll see examples.
Yeah, I see it.
So in this case, we're probably looking at like a 3, because I think that like this would be intimidating an Imperial subject when you are an Imperial sub-noble.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go D6 D12 because I do feel like while this is theoretically something that is very possible, I need Zeke to do what he's doing. Okay, 4 on control, 9 on impact.
This is like the equivalent of understanding complex legal situations on the level of an attorney who specializes in the matter. That's the level of success here. You see the color wash out of Zeke's face, and he is instantly thoroughly checked. I apologize. It was just a matter of curiosity, Master Vernick. I forget I said anything. I'll drive the cart, and you can do as you will.
Very good. You're fine. Just we don't need anyone seeing you talking to me.
All right. Yes. And he turns his back to you. Can I talk to you if I'm not facing you?
Sure.
That's mighty generous, Master. If I may share a second passing curiosity, we've been traveling for 3 weeks now, and I feel like, maybe in this moment we've built something of a rapport, a kind of congeniality, and perhaps you'd be interested in just a bit of a light prying.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, I mean, you haven't been asleep that long, though you do seem to come in and out. No, don't take nothing by that. I'm sure you've got important Imperial matters to consider, what with your station and all. I guess the question I got for you is, you're wearing Imperial Squires regalia. I've traveled with some squires in the past, so I know that. I didn't do any snooping or anything. Where's your master? I haven't heard often tell of squires traveling without their knight.
Well, as you may have noticed, we're leaving an active combat zone.
Did he not make it?
No, he did not.
Well,
he's at the bottom of the river.
Oh, I'm very sorry, my lord. That's a terrible tragedy. That's just, that's just a kick in the knee, innit? I didn't think your kind could die.
They just want you to think that.
They just want you to think that. Huh. Wow. Anyway, get some rest, Master. We'll be cresting over the next couple of hills, and we'll be there. We can drop off the load, and you can check in.
3 weeks, really?
So, you have been traveling from just east of Finchen, not directly from Finchen, with a corpse wagon, an Imperial chartered corpse wagon. It has been quite some time since the skirmish at the Twins' Cradle.
Our sense of time is fucked.
Oh, okay.
In my head, because I was under the river for so long, sense of time absolutely fucked.
Just dog shit.
In fact, honestly, I think there's no response to Zeke's last question because now I'm grappling with the dual-sided memory of the last time I saw my Night Master.
Oh, God. Which one makes it to the fore first? Vernick or Braca?
I think we see Braca tearing open the carriage door to, like, set some kind of... I imagine there's some kind of, like, scroll magical device that starts to emanate some, like, sunlight directly at the knight to throw them off, while the rest of the squad starts to pincer around the carriage to stop the movement, get all angles possible, while Braca starts to, like, honestly just starts to reach for their sword just to move it out of the way, out of reach, so that whatever happens starts to happen.
The reaching for the sword triggers the other memory coming from Vernick, where Vernick throws a flash pot at the feet of the horses, who then take off running, dragging Braca partially behind the cart, while Vernick chases after it, leaving the men behind. And then the scuffle would begin shortly thereafter. And for a moment, this scuffle takes you over the cresting of a hill, and then you are back in reality, and you crest over a hill, revealing the western side of the Stone River Valley, which marks the very west border of West Halviol in the Bowerlands. And off in the distance is your destination. Set into the highest hill is a feat of architecture and military technology that the Empire would not deign to waste so many resources on in a place like this, and not a single Bowerborn could possibly trace the origins of. It is the great stone entryway to Greshel Maw Keep, one of the most secure and important Imperial prisons in the entire Empire. Built directly into one of the highest hills in the valley. It's essentially 2 giant angular stone slabs with a single one on top, making kind of a trapezoid figure, and then these massive stone double doors with great ornate slabs of stone set directly into the hill. The prison is very much underground. This is probably one of the most secure facilities in the world outside of the Citadel itself. And that is your destination.
Vernick just starts to reminisce about the many people he's put inside the maw.
Braca remembers the first time that he laid eyes on this place during a scouting mission. Actually, the scouting mission that put this operation into place. He realized that it was impenetrable to a direct infiltration, and so the only possible way to go in and stage a jailbreak, steal supplies, get information, or anything would be to find an Imperial traitor who could get him access. And so the idea was scrapped until quite recently.
Just under his breath, Braca will just whisper, "It's like a beehive."
Zeke pipes up, "That's not a beehive. That's Greshel Maw. Right? That's where we're headed."
Yeah.
What's with you? Is it like a vampire thing where when you disconnected from your lord, you get addled, or how's that all come together? I've always been interested in it, and it's hard to find a source of vampire trivia that what won't slash your throat for asking too many questions.
I'm just Dampier. But it's been a trying journey. See, that's to be certain.
This ain't been the worst one that I've had. The smell ain't so bad on account of we got all these corpses on ice at the behest of the Duke. He said he wants fresh ones.
They do like that.
Yeah, what's with that? What's the difference?
Mostly aesthetic. It's so much less gauche to have. As long as bones are mostly intact, that's all you really need a lot of the times. Flesh is helpful, but it's so much less appealing to have things that are so clearly only moving because of the magic in service to you.
I guess I never thought of that.
Technically, it's a little bit harder to kill one that has some flesh in the way of the bone, but tactically doesn't make much of a difference in the actual heat of battle.
You'll have to tell me later. Hey, we're getting up to the first checkpoint. The first checkpoint is easily a full couple of kilometers away from the Greshel Maw entrance. They are staggered deeper and deeper and deeper as you get closer and closer. This one is 2 guards stationed outside of what is just a simple wooden fence that lines the outer perimeter of the area. This is what one might consider a courtesy checkpoint. You can even see where the road forks at the guard station, basically telling anyone, if you don't have any business going this direction, then you should not go this direction. The cavern driver tentatively, trepidatiously pulls up. Hey, would you mind doing the talking?
Right. Yes. Yes. Seeing the you said there were like two Imperial.
Yeah, 2 Imperial guards, both mortal.
Yeah. Struggles for a moment seeing the armor, feeling both that like wave of nostalgia, thinking about having to clean their own armor and learn how to like put it on, take it off so quickly, and then also being like, and that's where you stab for maximum efficiency if you're coming from behind, and that's where you stab if you're at the side.
We exit Vernick's thought, and we actually see this moment in action as we go transfer to Captain Braca as he does his initial infiltration of the Greshel Maw Keep, and with the unfortunate fact that he had to kill his way through this checkpoint.
Absolutely. We just see Captain Braca low to the ground, has darker clothing on, and we see him fully do the video game stealthing of like throwing a loud object across from him. The guards turn around and just whips a dagger at one and like
Hold on, how about we do a tutorial roll for that loud object? Let's see just how capable Captain Braca was in his prime before the incident.
I love that. Okay.
Press X to throw loud object.
Okay. Let's do. I'm gonna do a D8 and then D10. So D8 control, D10 impact.
I am going to boost your D10 to a D12 impact because you're using a noise-making thing. You're using a specific tool for this. Yeah.
Love it. Okay, 7 control, 9 impact.
As planned, both of the guards turn over to hear the loud pop of the noisemaker. Maybe it's a flash pot, similar to what Vernick used to spook the horses. Hard to...
Yes, we get a moment where it match cuts those 2 flash pots.
Yes.
We get the loud flash and then Braca leaping to action, and then the loud flash and Vernick like chasing after the caravan with unnatural speed. But then we continue back in front of Greshel Maw as, unfortunately for these mortal individuals, all the weapons that Braca carries are meant to kill non-mortal things, so it's kind of overkill.
It's gonna be bad. So there is initiative when we go into combat.
Okay.
You will roll a d10, they will roll a d4. Based on the
Okay.
rules, they are totally unaware of surrounding or otherwise fully engaged or otherwise inhibited. So they're at a d4, you're at a d10, initiating action by drawing or striking first.
Great. 7.
2.
Mm-hmm.
You get to strike first blow here.
My intention would be to basically throw a weighted, consecrated dagger right through the little slit that the armor needs to leave between the helmet and the chest plate, so that people can look up on the first soldier, and while making my way to grab and slice the throat of the other.
Yeah, so you can think of combat in terms of like range bands. So you would be able to move up a range band. You would be able to do this attack and move up up a range band in a single turn.
That's throw, move.
Yeah, throw move. So throwing weapons, exactly the same as any other roll. You choose control and impact. Impact translates directly to damage.
Okay. I'll do the reverse of what I just did. I'll do D10 control and D8 impact.
Okay.
Here. Ooh, okay. Well, I got a 9 control and a 1 impact.
Oh no.
So it's really accurate, but doesn't hit very hard, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so I think the way I might interpret that is it hits nicely, but he just barely turns his neck, and so it misses lethal damage. It cuts him. He takes damage from this. However, because the control was so high, his head is kind of like locked off to the side because the dagger handle has lodged up under the back of his chest plate, and he like can't except to move his entire body. At which point you move up, he's going to have to take a turn to dislodge this thing. The other one is going to strike out wildly at you in the dark, not terribly confidently. I'm going to downgrade his impact roll, and he's only going to roll a d4 control. Your defense score right now is a 2. All he has to do is beat a 2.
Okay, gotcha. Is it a meets it, beats it, or have to exceed it?
Pretty sure ties are partial.
Okay, got it. Yeah, and just for flavor, Vernick remembers asking about that particular flaw in the Imperial armor design, and his knight explains that it would be 20% more expensive to produce if they fixed it, and over in an Imperial Legion, that's just not practical.
It's just not going to do it.
Vernick remembers it making a lot more sense at the time.
The other one swings wildly. He's able to get his sword out, and he does connect with a strike, but he only hits you with the pommel, dealing a mere 2 hit points of damage to you.
Okay.
As he cracks you in the chest. You are not fully convinced he knows exactly where you are. You think he's just like doing what he can right now. It is back to you. The other one has dislodged the dagger, and so they'll both be going after you pretty soon, but it's your turn.
What I would like to do then is I'm right up in the second guard's face, and I want to do a quick like throat slash and then hope to push this person's body into the other one so that now they have to fumble with the corpse or just let it fall.
Oh.
Which, because it's not a vampire, I expect they won't let it just fall.
Yeah. Let me see what this would actually look like, action-wise. Because we've got major actions, minor actions, interrupt. Yeah, go ahead and roll it. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, so I'm going to do D6 control and D12 impact here. 1 control, 7 impact.
Oh no. This would have gone great. So what happens is you are able to relocate the other guy and sort of toss him towards his ally. The bad news is
He's still alive.
Yeah, you didn't kill him.
Yeah.
And so the important part doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
You relocate him over to each other. They kind of bump into each other, but that doesn't really have an effect on any of the outcomes. Now that they have a clearer picture of what's going on, we're going to do a couple of D6, D10 rolls against you and see what kind of damage gets done. One of them lunges forward with a short spear and comes up just under your shoulder without actually making impact. The other one taking another wild swing, the same one that hit you before, once again striking you, this time not quite getting the twist in, flat of his blade for just a simple 1 damage. These are not terribly well-trained fighters. That being said, you are outnumbered. They would wear you down after a little while.
Takes in like a deep breath, and I think that Braca in this moment isn't being like, oh shit, I could die. Is honestly at this exact moment to himself being like, come on, these two, this is the front door, Braca. Well, get your shit together. I'm gonna go for the one who has hit me twice in a row since they seem slightly more competent. I'm gonna go D8 control, D10 impact. Okay, well, I got a 5 control and 1 impact.
Good lord. No, that wasn't the one. Yeah, you're really suffering on the impacts right now.
Absolutely.
This is going not clean.
I think what that is Braca, despite the overconfidence, starts taking a more defensive posture, realizing, okay, I've lost a prize and I'm outnumbered. Outwardly, he's doing everything correct, but inwardly, he's like, God, now I have to do I have to fight like a smart person and take my time, and this is so annoying. I have places to be. Like in his mind, he's yelling at these guys like, I have places to be. Do you understand?
I am on a mission right now.
You are not my ultimate objective. Y'all are my prologue. Don't you understand this?
There is one rule that we could go with here since your control is so high. I'm going to let you kind of do this one because these are the tutorial guys. Imagine taking damage from the first enemy in Dark Souls.
I would just simply not.
Yeah, I would simply not do that.
I mean, also, the first enemy in Dark Souls is a giant demon, isn't that right? Oh, no, or there's like skeletons first, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I was just thinking of the first boss, that's right.
There is a multi-attack that you can do against goobers.
So we add them together.
Yeah.
Add the defense together and subtract your level.
Which is 1.
The difficulty threshold, yeah.
So this is going to be 3, and so this would hit both.
Hey!
Success deals impact to each target. Failure misses all targets. Here's how tutorial these guys are. They have 2 hit points. What does it look like when you don't kill one, but you do kill the other?
I've got a one-hand sword and a dagger, so I am like parrying the one who's hit me, and was intending to like go for a killing stab when they give me an opening, but I quickly shift as I notice the other one. They swung under my arm. They they basically asked me to stab them right in the armpit. So I just take that moment to like twirl. I get like a slight slice with the dagger, but then I put the sword through under the armor and drop the first soldier who I hit. The thrown dagger.
Yeah. The guy with the sword who has hit you a couple of times, he takes a little bit of damage and kind of yelps out in pain, and then rushes you clumsily with it held high over his head, enraged by suddenly feeling pain in a position where he wasn't supposed to do that. And oh man, that is a 1 for control and an 11 for impact. So
would have absolutely killed me if he hit.
That would have been bad.
Yeah. Incredible. All right. And we're just going to do a D12 for control. It's like, I just die, man. 11 control, 6 impact.
Oh, yeah. Finally, like a pro, he lunges forward, buries his sword in the earth, and as he goes to pull it, you just drive your blade between his ribcage through his back, give it a twist, and just let him drop off of the blade.
And as I twist the blade and you hear that like awful like squelch of a person dying, we flash cut and I'm standing in front of 2 new soldiers in present.
Yeah, with the visage of an undead in junior noble regalia, a completely different situation.
Yeah. Coming back, I realized, oh, I was supposed to talk first, and now I've taken that bit of extra time, like where it's visibly a little awkward now.
One of the guards kind of notices this. My lord?
At ease.
They relax instantly, as if on command.
Ooh, fresh shipment here, all on ice. So let's keep this speedy.
One of them nods, and then the other takes a hand and puts it on his partner's shoulder, and then looks at him kind of warily, and kind of does like a little, just a barely tiny little head shake. And then the one that spoke first returns to you and says, Duke's orders, my lord. There was by proclamation of the Duke, no one gets in or out of Greshelmore without proper authorization.
We were ordered 3 weeks ago to bring these to the Duke.
And he said clearly, no one. He didn't tell us about any incoming shipments. He didn't mention anything of the sort. It's a bit of a whitelist only situation, if you understand, my lord. Perhaps your master could send missive forward and get you permission.
I will step forward to the weaker will and clearly making it so Zeke can't hear me is like what I like.
Okay.
The body language I'm taking. Bring news of Sir Toshin's death.
Ooh, roll that one. Let's see how big that one is.
It's gonna go D8 control. 2, 3.
Oh man, 2, 3.
Not good on either side.
That is pretty rough. He's still in a whisper to you, so much so that his partner can probably barely hear him. I'm so sorry, my lord. That is truly tragic. And the Duke will want to hear of this. The tragic death of his loyal subject. I'm sorry, but I must insist that you remain. If you would, and I apologize if this is an imposition, sir. If you would perhaps kindly stand with me, I will send my second up, and perhaps the Duke would allow you in.
Quickly.
For a moment, you remember how quickly you killed these guys, however many months ago it was that you scouted this place out.
Both of us in unison. This is not the hard part. Please move quickly. The ice is almost melted, and we both know how upset the Duke would be if these weren't fresh.
Right away, my lord. And he nudges his second, and his second heel turns and hauls ass the roughly 2-kilometer run up the hill towards Greshelmore.
You've been listening to Game Oven, a creative world-building collective building a world one game at a time. We are currently introducing our characters for our Cosmic Century Knights game. Cosmic Century Knights is a fantasy adventure RPG created by James D'Amato and Andrew Merjowski. If you like what we're doing, please go over and support us on Patreon at patreon.com/GameWoven. You can also find us on social media, and you can support us through our parent network over at patreon.com/OneShot. It's also a good place to go if you are looking for new shows to listen to, because we are in excellent company.
Give me gruff male medium hit 5 times. Ooh, ah.
Oh. Yeah, as I always say, there's no rest for sorry. I had to get the intrusive thought out. There truly is no rest for the wicked, you know. Oh, it's so tragic.